Hi, my name is Patti Rutledge. I'm the co-owner of Sensational Development Occupational Therapy located in Massapequa on Long Island in New York. We often get calls from parents at our clinic asking us why their child reacts so strongly to certain events and sensations in the environment. So I want to take a moment to talk to you about sensory integration. Sensory integration is something that happens without us even thinking about it. Where our body is processing sensory information every millisecond of the day, and it just happens. Information comes in, whether it's through our eyes, our ears, our internal signals, our body, and we just make adaptive responses. When a child has a sensory integration dysfunction, they're unable to do that. The information, physical sensation that's coming in, gets turned to an electrical signal and it is processed in the brain. For a child that has a dysfunction, that signal is not being accurately identified, or it is not going to the right area in the brain, and it results in a very, very disorganized brain, and of course, leading to a very disorganized child. There are so many signs of a sensory integration dysfunction. We have children that are hyper-responsive or hypo-responsive. I think many people know about children that are maybe tactily defensive. They don't want to touch sand. They don't want to touch grass. They don't like their hands being messy. They get upset if their face is dirty. So those children are very hyper-responsive to tactile input. We have children that are hypo-responsive. They might not feel anything on their hands or on their face. There are actually children that might actually get a cut and not even realize that they're bleeding until you bring it to their attention. So that would be a child that's hypo-responsive. See children that have a hard time processing auditory information. They might not hear you, and they really are not hearing you. They're not choosing to not listen to you, but they have blocked out certain sounds in their environment. They might startle at sounds in their environment also. You might see them covering their ears. It's too loud. They can't take certain sounds. They can't focus when there are other sounds in the room. They might have a difficult time in a classroom setting. They might have a difficult time doing a written task when the clock is ticking on the wall. They might not be able to block that sound out. So you have children that can be, once again, hypo-responsive to sound or hyper-responsive to sound. We see so many children that, going back to the tactile piece, that are picky eaters. So that is often because they can't tolerate the texture of the food that they're eating. And that obviously needs to be recognized very early on, because once again, not only is it going to impact them nutrition-wise, but it's going to impact them, especially as they get older, eating out with the family, going out to lunch with their peers. So if your system is not functioning properly and you are not processing sensory information accurately, it affects so many aspects of your life. Sensory integration is the foundation upon which all other skills are built. In school, we often see children that have a hard time reading or writing. They might have a hard time copying information from the board and putting it on paper. They might have a hard time reading. They may lose their place easily. And that's a child that has difficulty with ocular motility. And ocular motility and vestibular processing are very closely connected. So we also get a lot of calls from parents that say, I don't know if it's sensory, but he's had a lot of really bad behaviors in school. Yeah, behavior is a way of communicating. And when you're having a really hard time keeping up with your peers, following the directions of your teacher, you might exhibit some behaviors. The behaviors might be simply to get out of the task that you find too difficulty. And we have to listen to those cues. Behavior tells us so much. Children are not choosing to be a behavioral issue. They would be much happier if they were getting along with everything and the world was just moving along fine. But if they're acting out, we have to look and see why they're acting out. If you have any questions and you suspect that your child might have difficulty processing sensory information, feel free to call us at Sensational Development, especially if you're located on Long Island. We'd be more than happy to walk you through and help you with any decisions to make. Thank you for listening.